Hi, I'm Shannon Cooley, and I'm here today to talk to you about how I got my agent. Guys, I have an agent. Alright, how I got my agent. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who loved books. No, let's fast forward. Once upon a time, in 2010, I was graduating college and I just completed the first draft of a novel that I actually thought was going to be publishable. This was really exciting, not the first book I'd written, but I had learned the importance of revision, and so I began to revise this book. And revise it again, and again, and again. But eventually I came out with a book that both I and my critique partners felt was strong enough to go out into the big bad world. So I went to a writing conference and live pitched it to an editor. Most of us who write are used to talking about our books through typed words on a computer. We're not used to sitting there in person and trying to get people excited about our book. But it was a really good experience, and she was excited and requested the full manuscript, and I sent it off with high hopes and was ultimately rejected. But not a quitter. So I entered a contest called Pitch Wars, and some of you may have heard of it. It's a fantastic contest, and I was selected as an alternate. This was in 2014, and I was so excited because this was it. I was going to get an agent, I was going to get a book deal, life was going to be grand. Not how it worked out. I did get some requests, they didn't really go anywhere. I sent query letters out, got some requests, didn't really go anywhere. I entered some other Twitter contests, I got requests, and you know the story by now. And ultimately I realized that this was not the one. This book was not the one, and I loved it, but I put it on the shelf and chalked another one up to experience. But I had another book in the works, because I'm not a quitter. And I went to another writing conference and live pitched to an agent, and she loved the sound of it, and I went home really excited. I thought I would be able to finish my revisions in the next month or two, and life hit. And it ended up taking me 9 months to send her those requested pages. By the time I sent it to her, her list was too full with YA fantasy, and she was no longer looking for that. But she sent it over to someone else at her agency, and I was really excited, and it didn't pan out. So I am not a quitter and decided to send cold queries. I learned a lot with that first book about researching agents, writing query letters, the query process, and things like that. And I really felt that this one was going to be the one. And this time it was. 31 days after sending out my first query letter, I received an offer of representation. This was a huge shock for me. I expected to spend months in the query trenches again, and it was really, really exciting. But things also got really stressful at that point. Most people don't talk about this because they don't want to seem ungrateful, but it helped me to hear some other writers talking about it beforehand, so it might help you as well. There's a point when you have gotten an offer but you haven't yet signed with an agent, when you can let other agents know who already have your query or your pages, and they have the chance to request more pages or pass or offer as well. And it's a lot of things happening really fast, and it can be really stressful and confusing because you think, I need to be super excited right now, but I'm really stressed out. And it's okay. It's normal. But ultimately, I received 3 offers, and I signed with Victoria Marini of Gelfman Schneider, who is fabulous. And for me, the decision came down largely to who I, in my gut feeling, really thought connected best with me and with my book. And we have been working on revisions, and I'm trying to get those finished up. Sorry guys, revising doesn't ever really go away. And hopefully someday you'll all be able to find my book, Thief in Silks and Shadows, on your local bookstore shelves. So I just want to let you know that if you are in the middle of the query trenches, or if you are pitching at conferences, or if you're on draft number 9, or you're plugging away through that first rough draft, hang in there. And that moment when you do sign with an agent and you realize that you have crossed that huge hurdle and you're that much closer to seeing your book on the shelves is a fantastic moment, and it's worth the hours and years that you've put into getting there. And you get to jump up and down and squeal, and it's exciting. So hang in there.